name is Teresita Blanco, the Artsy sister, and today we're reading Saturnastra Marduke, and this is the start of chapter 6, called The Facility. The snowstorm died the next day. We were able to walk outside, No, that's not fair. A week passed without incident. From time to time, we ran into a new afflicted trainee. However, the second he joined our party, he did not suffer any new attacks. The subordinates concluded that the beast was afraid of me. This helped solidify my control over my group. By the end of the week, we managed to reunite with the original 25 trainees. Some were worse than others. However, the strange discovery in the cave facilitated our search for food. Whatever animal we hunted, we skinned to make winter clothing. By the end of the week, we were all properly dressed in leather skins made of deer, wolves, and moose. Despite no new attacks, my subordinates were still paranoid. At night, we would all awaken at the slightest sound. We took to staying awake all night while we slept in the day. By the end of the week, everyone had fully recuperated. On the night that followed, I spoke to my troops. This new vampire sleeping habits of ours are a real killer. I commented to my troops around the fire. They were wide awake and attentive. Many were looking over their shoulders. Canon asked with curiosity, "What the hell is a vampire?" "You guys don't have vampires?" I asked them. "Tell me what they are, and I will tell you if we have them," responded Canon. "It depends. There are many varieties of vampires. They all share one common trait," said I as I explained. "Let me get this straight. Someone with bad sleeping habits is called a vampire in your country?" asked Ivy ironically. "There's more to it, so don't interrupt me again," said I before continuing. "They also thirst after blood. It is their main sustenance and the source of their power. They need to drink human blood to keep themselves eternally young. They are also very sensitive to daylight." "Eternally young," repeated Canon. "Maybe your vampires are dark elves. They are sensitive to light, plus they too seem to stay young forever, even if they are grotesquely ugly," added Rollo. This had kept us thinking for a while. The silence was interrupted by Ivy. "What if the elves keep themselves eternally young by drinking human blood?" Considering the hellish tale I heard from Belladonna, I would not put it past them to drink human blood. After all, they consider themselves to be the master race, added Canon. Hearing Canon say master race brought sadness to my heart. I made a mental note on the condition of the arrogant elves. I then asked Canon, "What did Belladonna tell you about the elves?" "The elders keep themselves eternally young by draining the life force of the poor. According to the doctrine, sin causes death. Thus, the more you sin, the faster you age. This is a very convenient perspective for discriminating against all those who are not elves. It gets worse, even among their kin. Whoever shows a sign of aging is ritually cleansed of their sin," said Canon, looking into the fire. How do they purify you?" asked Ivy, gulping. "By the flames. They cremate the bodies of their victims to hide the truth of their life-extending ritual. That is how they maintain the facade of being eternally young." Canon was silent after this explanation. Well, it sounds terrible. After the cave, I could see the sun starting to rise. Its one glow brought peace to our weary hearts. We were finally able to sleep. 2 hours past noon, we all awoke. Enjoying the brief hours of daylight, we took to scouting the grounds. In teams of 5, we went exploring. By nightfall, Damon's party had gone missing. "I'm going to look for them," I said to those that remained. "I'm coming with you," they all said in unison. Many blushed at realizing that they were coming out of fear of the beast that was lurking in the darkness. Taking the lumber out of the fireplace, we fashioned torches. Around midnight, we found a rope tied to a tree. Following its source, we discovered that it led down to a hole. I threw a torch and saw it strike a metal beam before it disappeared in the darkness. Frowning, I tested the rope and saw that it held fast. Slowly, I made my way down. When I reached the bottom, I found the torch resting over an iron floor. Around me, I saw that the others were slowly making their way downwards. Once everyone was assembled, I mused a little. Fear truly was a strong means of control, yet I worried that they would all crumble if the thing ever came back. In the darkness, the group started looking about. This place is much bigger than it seems, commented Ivy. I still cannot find a single wall. Feeling the floor, Rollo commented. How does someone manage to make the entire floor out of metal? Oh yeah, the time?
9 minutes.
Cannon too was more interested in the floor. While the others searched for a wall, he spent his time knocking or patting the ground. The longer he sat there, the more confused he looked. Our search was stopped when somebody yelled, I found something. We all ran in the direction of the sound. Beneath our torches, my crew saw a sight that confused them. They saw a water tank built against a wall. The water within was greenish and it bubbled a lot. It was raised on top of a metal platform decorated with odd patterns. At its center, there was a dark green mirror that made a beeping sound. Each time it made that sound, an odd squiggly line would pass by. This outside was not as odd as what was inside the tank. Fully preserved in a fitted position slept a nude woman. Her long hair covered most of the container. Is she dead? asked Rollo. Are you stupid? Of course she's dead, responded Ivy in a fury. What kind of a sick pervert preserves his victim in a giant pickle jar? We can do nothing for her. We should continue looking about for the others, said Cannon. Well, at least we found a wall. Using the wall as a guide, we made our way across the giant room. From time to time, we ran into another pickled human. By now, the strange sounds were making my group very paranoid. More than once, the twins suggested we turn back. Some time passed, and we reached the end of the hall, and I saw that at the end there was a metal switch. When I went to flip the switch, Cannon grabbed my hand. We don't know what it does. If you are bent on touching it, have someone else do it, warned Cannon. If you die another day, you will shake my return, said the others, frightened. Stop acting like scared children. After I said this, I pulled down the switch. The entire place was illuminated by artificial light. The sudden illumination frightened them more than the impenetrable darkness. Many gasped while others screamed. Cannon made a scream that sounded extremely inhumane. This new sound made them run around in a panic. Truly, they were behaving like frightened children. Once everyone calmed down, the twins asked me, how do you know that the thing on the wall was going to illuminate everything? That thing on the wall is called a switch. It turns the light on and off. I said, putting the switch back on its original position. This made the place go shrouded in darkness. Again, I turned the lights back on. The others tried the switch, and they were delighted by its effect. Seeing how naturally it worked, they attributed its powers to magic. Boy, there must be some pretty powerful wizards in your native land, commented Ivy after trying out the switch. Just one powerful wizard, I corrected her. One is usually more than enough, added Cannon. Once the novelty of the switch had passed, we took time to gaze at our surroundings. The place seemed to be a huge storage facility. Across the board, we saw an army of homunculus, as they started calling them. Noticing that the figures were not budging, we went through an open gateway. Beyond lay a dark hallway. Beneath my light, I saw another one of those switches. And when I pulled on it, Rollo stopped me and he said, I want to do it this time. When the light fell in this place, we saw that the roof was made of glass. Time?
5 minutes.
Over it, we saw many cards and other kinds of freshwater fishes swimming about. This strange aquarium humored the party. Eventually, a very large fish came close to us. It had a long, sleek, oily white skin and large snout, tiny red eyes, and a blowhole over its head. The long mouth was slightly twisted, and it had long rows of tiny, sharp teeth. What is that? asked Ivy. It's a freshwater dolphin, I responded. I had seen dolphins before, but never of that color, nor in fresh water, added Cannon while he stared at the dolphin. The dolphin made his trademark sound, and two others came to look at us. As we walked across the hallway, they cheerfully followed behind us from within the fish tank. At the end of the aquarium, we reached a closed metal door. It had no handles or anything that might give a hint as to how to open it. Over, we saw some numbers and letters. They went as such: B3, B2, B1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Towards the left, we saw a stylized arrow pointing up. I think those numbers stand for floors, said Cannon. So behind this door, there should be a staircase, added Rollo, pushing against the door. It's not budging. I think we all have to strike it together, said Rollo, joining his brother's effort. Much to their surprise, the door opened. Its iron surface moved towards the walls, and the suddenness of this motion made the twins fall into a small room. This made Cannon start laughing. Seeing him laugh made the rest laugh as well. Pointing towards the lighter arrow, Cannon said, I guess pressing this made the door open. If you think about it, you can get around this place by pure intuition. It was made idiot-proof. Together we all got inside the small room. Cannon saw the names of the floors marked on the wall. He pressed B3 and up we went. After this event, we made our way across the facility more easily. In B3, they had the aquarium. It was covered with rows and rows of pools filled with different kinds of fishes. In B12, we saw an indoor greenhouse. Cannon wondered much about the artificial light. He figured that they copied well the rays of the sun and thus helped the plants grow. In B1, we saw several fields of corn, wheat, rice, cotton, and sugar, hay, and tomatoes. On floor 1, we found the living quarters. All the beds were neatly arranged and the clothing packed away in locked closets. On floor 2, we found an armory. Many of the weapons my friends could not tell what they did or what they were. Since we were focused on finding the others, we decided that it was best not to play with them. Floor 3 had many different types of rooms. Each was full of curiosities that we dare not touch. At the end, we saw one of the so-called homunculus on the operating table. Its eyes were eerily wide open. Together we all stood around the strange girl. She had unnatural white eyes like those of a doll. Her eyes, they were pink color. Her mouth was also pink. She had a long, slender figure of an elf, but without the ears. Her mouth was very small and had an unnatural pink color. Her nose was very tiny as well. Her head was far too large for her body. This latest curiosity was too much. Abby was the first to touch the doll like homunculus. She touched the arm of the doll. Frowning, she said, "It feels like a statue." The time?
2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Cannon too examined the doll and he said, "I do not sense any magic on this thing. In our respect, she is just a doll. There's not even a soul inside of her." Glancing at me, he added, "Have you ever seen a huge doll like this one?" Not really, but I have heard of them," I responded. "How do they work?" asked Cannon. "Maybe, do you want me to turn it on?" "Yes," they all said in unison. "Guys, help me flip her around," I ordered. It took much effort of our 10 strongest to flip over the doll. Once she was on her back, I brushed her hair back to reveal her neck. Amma touched the doll setup. The sudden animation made half of those assembled flee towards the elevator. As for me, I stayed observing the doll. Over her eyes, strange, tiny characters passed by. The doll said without opening her lips, "Anti-abandon model unit 4129433. Scanning, no abandons detected. Returning to sleep mode." After he said this, the doll returned to her original position. Giving a sigh of relief, Ivy said, "I had enough of this play. Let's find the others so we can get the hell out of here." "Agree," responded the others. "I don't see why there should be any panic," said Cannon. "That doll was obviously an automaton. Or like the non-fleshy variety of the homunculus," mentioned Rollo. We left the doll where we found it. Together we went to the elevator to explore the last floor. Before we entered the elevator, Cannon stopped. Looking at everyone, he said, "This looks like quite a huge underground city. So where do you think everyone went?" "That's a stupid question. They're in the pickle jars," yelled Ivy. "Oh well, we'll continue this adventure later. Bye bye and God bless."